precisely 6:45. This is the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. News edited by J. Ogaraj and read by Sharifa Tahir. Headlines. The President instructs the Treasury to release 93 billion rupees to the Electricity Board to complete a debt payment of 96 billion rupees to the Petroleum Corporation. The Health Ministry says that people should obtain 3 jabs to be fully vaccinated. Daily count of new COVID-19 cases climbs to 877 yesterday. Sri Lanka reports another 14 coronavirus deaths yesterday. 6 arrested with over 300 kilograms of heroin in trawler. National Child Protection Authority has commenced investigations about Facebook page containing photographs of underage girls. Abduction case against Hirunika fixed for trial. News overseas, Ukraine update, US troops on high alert over standoff. In sports, Sri Lanka cricket team will tour Australia next month to play 5 one-day internationals. We move on to local news in detail. President Gotabaya Rajapaksa has instructed the Treasury yesterday to release 93 billion rupees to the Electricity Board to complete a debt payment of 96 billion rupees to the Petroleum Corporation. Chairman of the Petroleum Corporation, Sumit Vijayasinghe, said that it would help to purchase oil and to repay the debt. Meanwhile, Minister Gamini Lokuge said that government is trying to continuously supply electricity to the people. He mentioned this during a media briefing at Sri Lanka Podujana Peramuna Party headquarters. The minister said a certain group is trying to purchase electricity at high rates, but the government aims to supply electricity to the people at a minimum cost. The Ministry of Health says that another 877 persons have tested positive for the novel coronavirus yesterday. This figure includes 8 persons who had arrived in the country from overseas. Sri Lanka's tally of COVID-19 cases confirmed in the country climbs to 602,763, while 11,126 patients infected with the virus are currently undergoing treatment. Meanwhile, this is the 6th straight day that the daily count of COVID-19 cases has surpassed the 800 mark in the island, showing a resurgence of COVID-positive cases reported. Meanwhile, the Director General of Health Services has confirmed another 14 coronavirus-related deaths in Sri Lanka, pushing the country's death toll due to the virus to 15,313. The deaths reported yesterday include 8 males and 6 females, while one of the COVID victims is a female below the age of 30 years. 7 of the patients are between the ages 30 to 59 years, while the other 6 are aged 60 years and above. 6 suspects have been arrested following the interception of a trawler carrying over 300 kilograms of heroin in the southern seas of Sri Lanka yesterday. The arrests were made in an operation carried out by the Sri Lankan Navy and the State Intelligence Service. The 6 new members of the vessel, who are all Sri Lankan nationals, and the drugs have been taken into custody along with the boat and are being escorted to shore. The operation was carried out based on information received by the Police Narcotics Bureau. National Child Protection Authority has commenced investigations about Facebook page containing photographs of underage girls. Investigations have commenced following a complaint received by Child Helpline 1929. Accordingly, the Child Protection Authority's Internet Surveillance Unit and the Special Police Investigation Unit have recorded statements from the suspect. The authorities said the relevant Facebook page has been inactivated after being informed to Telecom. They have also submitted details to the Housdorf Magistrate Court. This is the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation giving you the news. We continue with more cases here at home. The Colombo High Court has fixed March 23rd to commence the trial of the case filed against MP Hirunika Premachandra with regard to the alleged abduction, unlawful detention and assault of a youth from the Dematagode area in 2015. The case was taken up before High Court Judge Amal Ranaraja, who ordered that the hearing of the case will commence on the 23rd of March, also directed to issue notice on the witness to appear before the court on that date. In December 2015, a 35-year-old employee of a shop in Dematagoda was abducted in the Baseline Road area in Dematagoda and assaulted by a group of individuals who arrived in a Land Rover Defender, which was allegedly owned by Premachandra. The victim, who was identified as Amila Priyankara, a resident of Kolannava, was abducted by the group of persons on the 21st of December 2015. 9, including Premachandra, were charged over the abduction. However, 7 of the suspects, excluding the parliamentarian, later admitted before the Colombo High Court to abducting the youth and were sentenced to 2 years rigorous imprisonment, suspended for 12 years by the Colombo High Court. Meanwhile, this is the 6th straight day that the daily count of COVID-19 cases has surpassed the 800 mark in the island, showing a resurgence of COVID-positive cases reported. State Minister Indika Anuruddha says that the country is self-sufficient in turmeric harvest. He mentioned this at a ceremony to purchase turmeric harvest under the Vistas of Policy statement. The ceremony took place at Divulapitiya Kitulavala Pitadeniya Vidyakara Pirivan Temple under the patronage of State Minister Janaka Vakkumbura yesterday. Ceylon Spices Marketing Board purchases turmeric from the farmers. Accordingly, 20,000 kilograms of turmeric at Divulapitiya Electoral Division will be purchased at a government-guaranteed price of 165 rupees. That's local news for the moment.
The main news story is brought to you by Siddhalepa Vedamahatmya.
Health Minister Keheliya Rambukwala says that people should obtain 3 jabs to be fully vaccinated. On the 29th of this month, 1 year will be marked for the vaccination drive in the country. Special programs have been organized to mark the day in 1,500 centers covering all hospitals and MOH offices in the country. The minister said the steps will be taken to mandate the vaccination certificate to enter public places. Sri Lanka has become the 5th country in terms of vaccination in the entire world. The minister added that it is the responsibility of the people to get the booster dose to get protected and protect the loved ones as well.
The main news story was brought to you by Siddhalepa Vedamahatmya.
And on Watchlight, health authorities have requested the public to follow health guidelines strictly as the corona infections crossed 800 mark for the last few days. Although it was observed that there was a sharp drop in the corona infections during the last few days, that cannot be taken for granted, the health authorities warned. Director General of the Health Services, Dr. Asela Gunawardena, said that it is a high risk for the public to get involved with large gatherings or get-togethers. He requested the public to refrain from travelling between the provinces. He pointed out that 700 to 800 corona patients are still being reported daily from the country. Therefore, he emphasized that the pandemic can spread rapidly again if the public act irresponsibly.
Coming up, World News.
World News headlines: Ukraine-US troops on high alert over standoff. Aboriginal flag, Australian government secures copyright after row. Africa Cup of Nations, deadly crush reported at Cameroon Stadium. World news in detail. Some 8,500 combat-ready US troops are on high alert to deploy at short notice amid rising tension over Ukraine, the Pentagon says. Russia continues to deny planning military action against Ukraine despite massing 100,000 troops nearby. President Biden held a video call with European allies on Monday as Western powers aim for a common strategy against Russian aggression. The Pentagon said no decision had yet been made on whether to deploy troops. The Australian government has bought the Aboriginal flag's copyright in a bid to free the symbol of identity from bitter fights over who can use it. Indigenous artist Harold Thomas created the flag in 1971 as a protest image, but it is now the dominant Aboriginal emblem and an official national flag. Despite this, many Aboriginal people say the flag has been held hostage by copyright deals that limit its display. The flag can now be reproduced by anyone without fear of legal threats. Finally, on world news, 6 people are reported to have been killed and dozens hurt in a crash outside a stadium hosting an Africa Cup of Nations match in Cameroon. Video footage showed football fans struggling to get access to the Paul Biya Stadium in a neighborhood of the capital. Nasseri Paul Biya, governor of Cameroon's central region, said there may be more casualties. Another report said a number of children had lost consciousness. That's world news.
Development News is brought to you by Let's take all out of the coconut tree and make the island thriving and prosperous. Call our hotline 1928. WhatsApp 070 400 1928.
And on development news, Sri Lanka welcomed 58,906 tourists within 3 weeks of January, realizing nearly 59% of its ambitious monthly target of 100,000 arrivals. Data shared by the Tourism Ministry yesterday indicated that the country would need to lure 41,094 more tourists within the last week of the month to meet the target. From the total arrivals within the first 22 days, Russia maintained its position as the largest source market, accounting for 16.4% of the tourist traffic generated in January thus far.
Development News was brought to you by the coconut tree is well grown in almost all the parts of the island. It is an exceptional source of extra income. The shell, the husk and almost all the parts of the coconut tree makes you money, providing you with an excellent extra source of income. It will also help to nourish the economy of the country. You will be guided with all necessary informations regarding the coconut cultivation, with the novel cultivation techniques and all other related and upgraded informations by the Coconut Research Institute, Lunavilla. Call our hotline 1928. WhatsApp 070 400 1928.
And on sports news, Sri Lanka cricket team will tour Australia next month to play 5 one-day internationals. The matches will be played from 11th February to 20th February. Sri Lankan team will be led by Dasun Shanaka. That's sports news.
Cash through NSP globally and win wonderful gifts locally. From October 1st, 2021 to December 31st, 2022. Remit a minimum of $100 or an equivalent amount in any foreign currency 3 times through NSB U Trust.
Business News, sponsored by National Savings Bank, the safest place for your money.
Dara's drone show, the first ever drone light show in Sri Lanka, illuminated the Colombo night sky with over 150 drones on the 22nd and 23rd of January 2022 at Golfers Green in celebration of Dara's global rebranding. Followed by an evening of music, food and entertainment, the event saw the presence of over 10,000 people from across the island witness a spectacular choreography that revealed the new Dara's logo to the public.
Business News, sponsored by
Cash through NSP globally and win wonderful gifts locally. Will you be the lucky winner of the NSP Golden Jubilee? 50 gold sovereigns for the top prize winner of the NSP Golden Jubilee. Scooters for the 10 second prize winners. iPhones for the 10 third prize winners. Mountain bikes for the 29 fourth prize winners. From October 1st, 2021 to December 31st, 2022. Remit a minimum of $100 or an equivalent amount in any foreign currency 3 times through NSB U Trust.
Economic News, courtesy of...
I bought my daughter a laptop for her work by managing my finances. Whatever the expenses may be, I can't afford to miss out on life's special moments like her birthday or our anniversary. So you need to invest to make your family's future flourish.
Saving money isn't easy when you have responsibilities. That's why we promise to give you the best returns and guarantee on your investment. LOLC Finance Fixed Deposits. Maximize your savings. LOLC Finance PLC, incorporated on the 13th of December 2001, is rated SLA stable by ICRA Lanka Limited and is licensed by the Monetary Board of the Central Bank of Sri Lanka under the Finance Business Act No. 42 of 2011.
The Monetary Board of the Central Bank of Sri Lanka issued rules making it mandatory for hotel service providers to accept payments from persons resident outside Sri Lanka only in foreign exchange. At the same time, hotel service providers may accept payments in Sri Lankan rupees from persons residing outside of Sri Lanka, provided they submit original documentary evidence to prove that such Sri Lankan rupees represent the foreign currency brought into Sri Lanka and converted through a licensed bank or an authorized money changer.
Saving money isn't easy when you have responsibility. That's why we promise to give you the best returns and guarantee on your investment. LOLC Finance Fixed Deposits. Maximize your savings. LOLC Finance PLC, incorporated on the 13th of December 2001, is rated SLA stable by ICRA Lanka Limited and is licensed by the Monetary Board of the Central Bank of Sri Lanka under the Finance Business Act number 42 of 2011.
The Weather Report.
And on the weather update, the Met Department says mainly dry weather will continue to prevail over most parts of the island. Fairly cold weather can be expected during the early morning. There is a possibility of ground frost at some places in the Nuwara district during the early hours of the morning. Misty conditions can be expected at some places in western, central Sabaragamuwa, north central and over provinces, and in Kurunegala, Galle and Matara districts during the morning. This weather report was published this morning at 4:30 am. Further details could be obtained by visiting the official website of the department. Meanwhile, the international weather forecast website AccuWeather.com reports that the day's weather will be bright with occasional showers. Today's daytime temperature would be around 30 degrees Celsius. There will be light showers in many places in the Colombo district in the night. Tonight's temperature will be around 25 Celsius and there will be scattered showers in selected spots late in the night. The ground temperature would be 25 Celsius at the time of this news broadcast. The air quality index is 26, which shows fair condition in Colombo. The air quality is generally acceptable for most individuals. However, sensitive groups may experience minor to moderate symptoms from long-term exposure. That's the weather update. Before we wind up, a quick look at the headlines again. The President instructs the Treasury to release 93 billion rupees to the Electricity Board to complete a debt payment of 96 billion rupees to the Petroleum Corporation. The Health Minister says that people should obtain 3 jabs to be fully vaccinated. The daily count of new COVID-19 cases climbs to 877 yesterday. Sri Lanka reports another 14 coronavirus deaths yesterday. 6 arrested with over 300 kilograms of heroin in trawler. National Child Protection Authority has commenced investigations about Facebook page containing photographs of underage girls. Abduction case against Hirunika fixed for trial. News overseas, Ukraine update, US troops on high alert over standoff. In sports, Sri Lanka cricket team will tour Australia next month to play 5 one-day internationals. With that, we conclude this bulletin of news.